Curling is one of Canada's most treasured national pastimes. It is a game that requires perfect conditions, as the ice emerges as a character over the course of a game. This intense game requires the right call from the skip, the proper weight on the throw, and the right amount of sweeping in order to execute the desired shot. Ever since the first curling club came about in 1892, Calgarians from all walks of life have embraced this game. Male and female, young and old.
Once it's flying, let it go! Hurry, 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 hurry! It's perfect! Come on, go, 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 go! Yeah! You guys can do it! Come on! That's a room, it's heavy!
Curling has struck a chord with so many individual Calgarians. 11 clubs have been set up in order for them to play the game they love. The number 11 represents the third highest amount in Canada. Some of those clubs include the Northhill Curling Club, the Garrison Curling Club, the Calgary Curling Club, and the Glencoe Club. Curlers now share with us how they got into the game and what they love about it.
It's really just an excellent social sport. You don't have to, there's a wide range of skill levels and we can all play together and we can all have a good time. It's not, it doesn't necessarily have to be extra competitive.
Because on my 40th birthday or thereabouts, I quit hockey and I like doing things on ice. So, and with hockey, people are trying to run me through the board, and I got just tired of that whole scene. But I like being on ice.
Much other than during the high school games, but once I got out of school and I didn't play during my university years, but after I got into it, I mean, it was a huge social event, and we would, in fact, 30 years ago when I started working, we would be out for the whole evening. You know, you'd start off with a curling game right after work, and then you'd end up having a few drinks and maybe going for pizza.
I met my husband on a blind date after I watched him curl, and I really had no choice after that.
And when I met my husband, he was curling, and I had no idea what the game was about. So I used to sit behind the glass and have to ask the other spectators, what's the score? Because to me, the scoring was so bizarre. And then I joined, and I curl with my husband in a mixed league, and I curl in a women's league now as well.
This enthusiasm and love of the game of curling is vividly evident among even the youngest of players.
Well, it's just a really fun game. It's calm, but it can sometimes be stressful. So it's really it's very social. So it's just really like a perfect game for anybody because it's exciting. Sometimes it's calm. It's really, you can feel all emotions in it. So
it's just a really it's easy to do and anyone can do it. And it's kind of nice and cheap. So there's no worrying about getting into it because everyone can do it. And it's also just it's really worthwhile sport.
Hi, my name is Ed Lukowich, a Calgary curler. Over my career, which has spanned many decades, in 1986 I was Byron World Curling Champion with my team from Calgary, and that same team also competed in the 1988 Olympics in Calgary when curling was first an official demonstration sport. I started curling at the age of 5 in a little town. Spears, Saskatchewan was the little town. My dad ran the little 2-sheet curling club in that town, and I helped him with the ice every day in the winter time, and so I grew up at the curling club every day after school and on the weekends, and played in my first little bonspiel in Spears when I was 6 years old. In 1980, I moved to Calgary and then curled here for a number of years. Was in the Brier in 1983, where we lost the Brier final. 1984, where we won the lost the semifinal, and in 1986, where we won the Brier and the Worlds. Curling in Calgary, I've always loved playing here. It's always been a good type of game. There's always been a lot of draw style, a lot of offense played in Calgary curling, and so it's been a thrill to see curling in Calgary. And of course, Ron Northcott was the predecessor of mine in this era. He won 3 Briers and 3 Worlds out of Calgary, so it was really great to follow in his footsteps. I wrote my first curling book in 1980 along with Paul Galzo. It was called The Curling Book, an instructional book, and I did 3 other books on curling and a video tape called Labatt's Fast 80 Curling Tips. I began working on the skins game, the TSN skins game in 1986 was my original, along with Jim Thompson from TSN. As well as I began the World Curling Tour in 1990. So I've always been involved in the developmental side. In a sentence, I would describe curling as an incredible on-ice experience, played under pressure situations, with wonderful strategy involved, and great exercise as well for the mind and for the sweepers.
And describe the Calgary curling scene in one sentence or one word.
The Calgary curling scene, to describe it in a sentence, I would say that it's up and coming, that it had great years with Northcott, and then I carried the ball for a while. But I think with Kevin Cooey and Brock Virtue now, I think, and the youngsters coming up through the junior system, it has a great future.
Jocelyn Peterman, Brittany Tran, and Rebecca Conchi were all Mount Royal University students. They represented all of Canada at the 2012 World Junior Curling Championships in Leksand, Sweden, earlier this month. Brittany and Rebecca tell us how they discovered the game.
I started curling when I was 6. My grandpa was a curler, and so was my mom, but I think it was my grandpa, for the most part, who really got me into it, and he's the one who kind of pushed me and signed me up. And I started out with my cousin as a curling team, and I just had a passion for it, so I kept on going with it.
I started my curling career when I was 8 years old at the Sundry Junior Curling Club. My mom was a coach there, and she just kind of put me in the program, and from there on I really liked it, so I just expanded, and now I'm here.
I asked both girls what they would take away most from a tournament like the 2012 World Junior.
Nationals and Worlds were both very different experiences. Nationals was a lot more games, and it was definitely tiring, and then Worlds we had more break time and stuff. So, but for Nationals, I think I'm gonna really take back like the mental fatigue and the physical fatigue, and kind of use that to like push myself and physically and mentally. And at Worlds, just the whole experience of competing against these different teams and the different languages and stuff like that.
Really just like the friendships you make out there is unbelievable. That's something you can't take away from me as the game. People probably won't remember, but the friendships will last for a lifetime. So like I think we are one of the top places in Canada right now with curlers. As you can see out there right now, there's Learn to Curl people. Everyone wants to join. It's starting to become a new thing, a bigger thing, so it's great.
And Calgary curling scene is something this city could celebrate and feel tremendous pride about. Calgary has a strong history in curling, with both men and women coming up big on the international stage. Rising stars poised to break out. And there is a large group that loves to play the game for fun as well. Possessing those 3 elements means Calgary is indeed a premier curling market.